I think that's the beauty of DEKA, especially no matter what your age is. It just really is there for everybody.
We wanted to protect Cindy's knees, so all the knee, like the reverse lunges and the box step overs, were things that I took over 100%, but then she would do the running in between.
Other people look at that and go, wow, what's my excuse? You know, you just packed up all my excuses and took them home with you. What am I going to do now?
I've got this bum knee. Can I really do this? And so that's where you just need your community around you to really, your trainers, your fellow gym members, like even Michelle, she's always encouraging me and just, you can do this.
We were just so proud of you. It was so great for us all to go together,
Yeah,
and as a group, as a family, and we just enjoyed seeing you compete and cheering you on and getting to witness it. So much more fun when you have people to share it with you.
Welcome, everybody, to Ricardo's Rules of Resilience, the podcast that gives you the tools to withstand and recover from difficulties. Today, we are joined by three special guests from Isaiah 4031 Fitness, and we're going to be talking about a great fitness journey and a great DEKA journey, an inspiring story. And today, Coach Misty, I would like you to please introduce your clients and just a little brief bit about why we are on here today.
Thank you for having us. I would love to introduce Cindy Knox and Michelle Knabel. This partner duo blew the doors off of DEKA and their age group and placed third at Worlds 2 years ago, and they continue to compete very readily together. This year they're doing all three races together, and they inspire the rest of the gym with how hard they work and how well they do.
This is phenomenal. I'm so excited about this. So, ladies, I would typically give everyone the opportunity to give a 1-minute elevator pitch of who you are. Who wants to go first, Cindy or Misty? Cindy or Michelle?
Cindy will go first.
Sure.
All right.
Yeah, I'm Cindy Knox. I have been retired for several years and have really been able to continue my fitness journey, doing new things like strength training and hybrid training, especially by being a member of this gym. And that has led me to doing DEKA competition, something I'd never heard of a couple of years ago. So it really has been a nice journey these last 2 years, doing some different things fitness-wise, which I've really enjoyed.
Great.
Okay. I too have been on a fitness journey probably my whole life, and I just really enjoy it. And Cindy and I had actually, and Misty, had all worked together in a previous life with a previous program, and came here to Isaiah Fitness and just kind of took off with the weight training and with getting involved in DEKA. And Cindy and I were teamed up because she was looking for a partner for an in-house competition. And then we decided that we would try to take it out of house, and that's when we tried DEKA, and we qualified for Worlds for the mile, and that's where we went, and took a little talking into to jump into that big arena. We did it, and we really enjoyed it. We thought we didn't want to miss a once-in-a-lifetime chance, and now we've decided, well, maybe we'd like to try it again.
All right. Well, let's go back to the first time around when you're just hearing about this strange new thing called the DEKA. What was the process like to get involved with it for the first time?
I can take a stab at that. It was this nice lady here who mentioned DEKA to me one day. It was just the two of us talking, and I said, well, I don't even know what that is. And this was back, a couple years ago. So Misty was very encouraging and just saying, you could do this. And so then I Googled it and just looked at what it was all about. So that was really, for me, my first introduction to DEKA and what it is and what it could be for me. I think it took a little more convincing than to get me actually to but that was the start. That was the start.
I was just going to ask. I think that the story I heard from Misty was a little more coercive. Misty, let's hear that from your.
I know phone calls. It was like a process.
I would agree.
She's slow to warm up, but once she warms up, she's a tiger. So it was okay.
True. This is very true.
Well, I've actually got a reason for wanting you guys to explore this story a little bit. But Misty, tell it from your perspective of what it was like with this new idea,
Well, I
trying to
think
get Cindy
coaching
involved.
women of all ages, like we're tentative to try new things. We don't want to fail, but also we don't want to get hurt because getting hurt costs us. We don't have other people to rely on usually, and so we're afraid to. Like the experience of getting hurt is something that is not worth it to us. So sometimes I think that's a barrier that women have to overcome and feel convinced that like that this is not. I mean, there's plenty of opportunity to get hurt in a gym. So if you're not being trained well or with proper form and different things, but the one thing about DEKA is that there's not enough that you would have a repetitive stress injury or anything. They're very functional movements. Unless you have somebody coach you through that, it might not be very apparent. But Cindy is very capable and has a lot of years of running and fitness under her belt, so she was more than qualified to it. She just needed a little extra encouragement.
Yes.
A little extra, a little push.
Just a little. But I think there's an aspect of trust when you have a trainer and like a mentee, in that, like, if I would never encourage somebody to do something that I didn't truly believe that they could do or that they would get hurt. And so once that trust has been established, then they're a little more apt to like maybe venture out and try it.
Yeah, and that is definitely what I wanted people to hear, that, you know, I mean, the most common reaction when we're introducing to some people to DEKA or anything similar, something challenging, something that's beyond the norm, obviously the most common reaction is reticence. I don't know, I could get hurt, or I don't think I can finish it, I don't want to look foolish. All very common and normal reactions. And it takes a relationship of trust to be able, you got to leverage that trust, is what you're describing. Like, okay, I've put all of these coins in the bank over time, showing you that I am a trustworthy person, and now I need to make a withdrawal. I need you to remember that trust and lean into it, because I'm offering something a little different for you. And, you know, coaching, and sometimes just as a friend, we've got to do the same thing.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't have to be that coaching relationship. But a good coach will do that. A good coach is unafraid to be disliked in the short term, right? To be respected and appreciated.
But we're friends.
In the short term, not permanently. I wasn't saying permanently. Yeah.
Part of the fun.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Or, you
But
know,
when
it's
you see
uncomfortable.
so much capacity, like when you see so much capability in these ladies, you can't hardly, like, you just want them to see it too. So
Yeah. Tell me about that. What were you seeing?
they just are, I mean, fit beyond, like, they give anybody half their age a run for their money. And I think because we're always here in the gym doing things, we don't always, they may not always appreciate how inspiring they are and how fit they are, not even relative to other people their own age, relative to the general population. We're this like small percentage of people, and they really are capable. And even if we have current injuries that don't allow us to do full movements, the benefit of doing it with a partner, you get a partner who can, and then you complement each other. So, I mean, there's all kinds of opportunities to still compete.
Yes.
Most of the people who consume our podcasts are not watching the video. That is a significant portion, but many are just listening. And you brought up age. Of course, anyone watching the podcast would not know your age anyway, but let's talk about that. What age category are you in for that World Championship?
Well, we were part of the 120 plus group.
Yes, which I have raced in.
Okay.
So, and it was just a lot of fun. Granted, the competition, it's a leaner group because not so many people are pursuing this at this age. And as we talked about earlier, complementing each other, that was one of the things that got us together. the limitations of one were overtaken by the competencies of the other. Together, we decided we'd try it. And granted, we've been doing this long enough that there weren't these opportunities when we were younger. There wasn't a DEKA back when we were in our 30s and 40s. So it's kind of new, and it was empowering. And once we qualified, my partner here decided first thing, well, we're not going. and
You doing that?
we had to let her know. We said this is an experience. We might never get this chance. We should do it again. And I convinced her that, we qualified at position 4. So maybe someone won't show up, and then we will make a podium. But they all did show up, and we did earn our spot, and it turned out to be such a empowering situation that this year was the year we decided we would do all 3 competitions as a team. And not only that, the friendship, we worked out in the same groups, but not together. And once we started working out together, the friendship that blossomed was one I wasn't expecting or didn't see coming. And we've got a ton of things in common, and what we don't have in common seem to complement each other, and we just have enjoyed each other's company competing and on a friendship level. So, but it's always fun to see somebody hesitant to take on a challenge and then do it, and then be so excited that they did it. It's not about the success is doing it.
Yeah. And for anyone listening that's not familiar with how it works in DEKA, the age categories are your combined age. And so when you say 120, my coach, I showed up for World Championship, qualified with my father, and so we were in the 120 plus, and my coach would introduce me to people. Hey, Ricardo's racing in the 120 to infinity category tomorrow. So in the 120 plus combined age, that means that we have an average age of 60 or over 60 each. And I wanted to highlight that because age is not a factor. I mean, as you're saying, Michelle, you can come in with a joint issue or a movement limitation, a restriction. My father has an artificial aorta, and he's not allowed to lift weights. Other people might have artificial hip or knee or ankle issues, things that are going to limit you. But as you correctly pointed out, you're not out. You're not ruled out because of that. You just find the right partner that can do those things. And all right, one run strong, the other one's weak, and vice versa, and away we go.
Well, just to add to that story, I'm the one that has the arthritis in the left knee, and so that's where we've been able to really balance and the flexibility that DEKA gives you to do that, to strategize and figure out where the strengths and the weaknesses are. I was at the time maybe a bit better runner, but she could certainly handle those reverse lunges a lot better than I could with my knee. So I think that's the beauty of DEKA, especially no matter what your age is. It just really is there for everybody, and you can accommodate just about anybody's situation is how I would look at it. So
when your coach, Misty, was coming to you with this new crazy idea, was that part of your thinking that, the arthritis in my knee?
As Misty said, my first love is running, and in my younger adult years, I was a marathon runner and half marathon. I mean, I love to run, and then the knee started acting up a bit, so I've had to curtail all of that. And this has been just a wonderful opportunity with the hybrid training, because you get a little bit of running, but a lot of the strength training too. So I think I had to get a little confident with that, but then with Misty's encouragement, and she knows me well enough to know that I need someone to really say, hey, you can do this. And she even offered to, hey, I'll do it with you. That's just how Misty is, and all our trainers are here. So I just got fortunate that we were a really good pairing and close in age, and it really just has blossomed from there. So
your first time around, or first year, you decided, okay, miles our event, and so how did you divide it up?
We went with the strengths, we wanted to protect Cindy's knees, so all the knee, like the reverse lunges and the box step overs were things that I took over 100%, but then she would do the running in between. And,
Okay.
And then we split everything up, again. And then once we realized that, there was a weight advantage once, you get over 65, then we started taking advantage of that. So that's what I told her, because we didn't know about that when we qualified.
Yeah.
And I said, but wait, look, we got this advantage now, and we kind of leaned into that a little bit, not as much with that first competition, but we did qualify without using that, and so that's why we thought, well, gee, if we compete like the other women, maybe we'll have an advantage. But no, that's where it started, was because actually our in-house challenge that we did the first time, that was the reason we got paired together, was because that was my strength and that was her challenge. So we enjoyed that. And I might add, I think we won that in our division too, did we not?
Oh, I'm sure you did.
The weightless, yes. The women weightless, yes. So that's when we decided, well, let's see what else we can do. And and like I said, we just kind of split it up. But once you give yourself that chance and you take that chance and get over the afraid part and challenge, and then you do it, your definition of success changes a little bit. I think it doesn't have to be podium. It's just, I did that.
That's right.
And to see each other do that, and then see our friends at the gym meet those same challenges, that's just really inspiring. And it's just, that's the highlight of the whole challenge, is to make somebody feel like they can do it, and then they do it, and then they're off and running. Your job is done. They're just taking off with it. So, and that's kind of what we're doing too, saying we'll give. We wanted to do the trifecta together. We did it last year, but in different levels. But this year we were going to do all three together.
Going to do the strong and the mile and the fit together.
Yep.
And headed back to World Championship. Speaking of inspiration, Misty, you alluded to this earlier, that there's inspiration watching these ladies in their 60s compete and take this on, even go to World Championship, that you're seeing other people in the gym inspired by that. Can you talk a little bit about the effect this is having on other people?
Oh, people talk about them all the time. Nicely. Because they see how agile they are and how capable they are. And a lot of people, our younger members, these are their moms' ages, and their moms are not doing this and have not done this. And I mean, I didn't grow up with parents that were physically fit and in this way. They were active, but not like this. And so it didn't occur to me that at this age, that I could continue my activities as I have always been doing. And so when they do, so I just love working out with them, and they work hard. They're hard to keep up with. I don't care how old you are, really. So, it's just, it reminds me how important it is to stay active and to take good care of yourself. And these guys are the poster ladies for it.
The voice that gets in our head is the younger people are so much faster, and I'm gonna be the old one out on the course, and that we get this narrative in our head, when in fact it's the actual opposite. Getting out there and giving our all. Other people look at that and go, "Wow, what's my excuse?" You just packed up all my excuses and took them home with you. What am I going to do now?
Not that you have to be oftentimes I think as we age, we just have to outlast the younger people. We're just too stubborn to quit. And so the young people just burn it out in the first 15 minutes, and we are on the slow drive.
So steady wins the race.
That's right.
Absolutely.
You keep showing up long enough, and you're outlasting so many others.
Just to build on what Misty's saying, I think for me, the nudging that I need, it's probably a little bit of a confidence factor. Even though I know I'm fit, it's more like, well, this is something different, or I've got this bum knee, can I really do this? And so that's where you just need your community around you to really your trainers, your fellow gym members, like even Michelle, she's always encouraging me and just, you can do this. And now I know I can, but yeah, it's just at times you have that initial feeling of, well, but I'm not 100% perfect. I can't do all the movements. I can't always do this. But that's where being a team really is lovely, because you can, as we said earlier, figure out what works for both of you. So.
And I would really like to hear about a little more in detail of the process you alluded to. You qualified for World Championship, and again, the initial answer was no. So,
Well,
let's just hear a little bit about that evolution, that process of going from no to yes.
Well, here's the punchline that'll probably sum it up. I said to Michelle, why would we travel to Florida for a 30-minute competition?
Workout.
Very
We called it a
practical.
30-minute workout.
I mean, that was where my head was. I've traveled to marathons and things like that, but I'm like, well, this is just 30 minutes and give or take. And why should I travel? Why should I go do all this effort? And her words back, which were wonderful, she said, well, Cindy, this is more about the experience. It doesn't really matter about all the other stuff. It's the experience of doing it. And that was a very good way to put it, because it truly is an experience when you travel to an event and then have the opportunity to compete. And so that's really where my head was in the very beginning. And it just didn't take me too long to change my mind, but nonetheless, I did need a little nudge again.
Phone calls, collusion between Michelle and I.
It did, but to Cindy's credit, once Cindy says I'm a go, she was go. It was okay. I'm going to make the airplane reservations, and these are the rooms I found, and this is how we're going to do it, and that's where we started to see how the personalities really complemented each other. But no, it was we decided we were going for the experience. We might never get this chance, and the other folks from the gym, Misty and Dan and some other colleagues in the gym were going, and I said, this is a wonderful group of people, and I just hated to pass that opportunity up. And when we got there, I think we were surprised at how many people, and international people. There was a team from Great Britain that we competed against, and it just to be in that arena and realize that we belong there.
That's right.
Yeah, and so that was just that really was it. It was just changing the focus on this isn't just going. And I have to say, it was less than 30 minutes, wasn't it?
For the record.
For the record.
Let's be clear, everyone.
Well, you just but that's one thing that I think staying physically active does, is when you keep your body youthful, I think your mind stays youthful. And then once you start accepting those challenges, you see yourself differently, and challenges are just something else to do. It's not about failing or succeeding. It's about taking on the challenge.
Or even about age, honestly,
Yes.
because when we saw you on the podium, like we competed, we weren't like, oh, that's so nice for their age group. It was like, oh my gosh, like, I mean, you don't, that's not part of the thing.
Right.
It's you're competing like everybody else.
Right.
And we were just so proud of you. It was so great for us all to go together.
Yeah.
And as a group, as a family, and we just enjoyed seeing you compete and cheering you on and getting to witness it. So much more fun when you have people to share it with you.
Yeah.
Hey, that joy of discovery. We're 60 plus in life, and I'm in my 50s, and 50 plus, 60 plus, 70 plus. We can easily slide into the mentality of, I know me, I know what I can do, what I can't do, what I like, what I don't like. But what I hear you describing is the joy of discovery of, hey, wait a minute. I kind of like this. You weren't walking in with it of, oh yeah, I've done this my whole life. I know this is what I'm good at. You were walking in with a little bit of reticence, and this is an unknown part of yourself. And, here it is in your 60s coming alive with, hey, wait a minute. I'm kind of into this. This is a new part of me that I really want to enjoy.
It's funny that you say that because every time we walked into the championship gym, we were noticing, oh, look, don't forget to do this, don't forget to do that. And I'll have to admit, my best memory is we get started out of the corral and we're running. And all of it gets a little crowded, and you're waiting to see how you can loosen up the crowd. And Cindy looks right at me in her competitor mode and says, take her. And I was like, okay, I'll take her. And then I hear her saying, well, maybe we should pace ourselves. And it was just like a side of Cindy I had never seen. And it was like, we're really in this, aren't we? Let's go. So we may have really made the deciding factor in that first lap run. When she said take her, it was like, game on.
Yes,
and,
do it.
It really was. That's still my favorite memory. Besides getting on the podium.
No, I think I heard that. That sounds about right.
I am a competitor, mostly with myself, but I've been in enough corrals running to know what you got to do to get ahead. So, but anyway, that obviously came out in the first few seconds.
It was beautiful. It was great, and it made it fun, and it just made it really gave us a chance to see a little more about Cindy. But we were just, once you got in there, and then you realized that nobody understands this except the other people that do it. You can't leave and talk about it to somebody and have them understand it. So to be in a group of folks that appreciate what you're doing. And once you're walking around the competition, everybody just admires everybody else for being there and for working hard and for accepting those challenges. But that's something I will never regret us going. And it opened up the door to do some more, and it's been a lot of fun.
Yeah. You were talking about we're going for the experience, and then right there in the corral, there's a memory that you're celebrating still.
Yes.
Yeah. That's beautiful. Part of that discovery was we like this so much, we're expanding this. You're not just hanging your hat on the wall, hey, we did that, put the medal over there. You're saying, ooh, the taste of this is good. I want to order some more. We're going for all three this year, Strong, Mile, and Fit, right?
Right.
Let's hear about that process. What are we doing different now?
Well, we did the Strong earlier in the year already, so now we've got to get going with the mile, and we're scheduled to do the Fit in Austin in May. So that's our plan, and just do the best we can and keep building on our strategy and adjusting as we need to, and we'll see what happens.
Right on. And so we're looking to go to Worlds in all three categories now. Is that right?
We hope.
Well, that's what
you might as well.
That's what we're seeing in our radar. Yes.
Okay. Why not?
Right.
I love it. Well, listen, ladies, thank you so much for joining this. I'm hoping that as this podcast goes out and makes its way into the hands of coaches and DEKA affiliate owners, that they're going to be able to share this with other people of all ages, but particularly with their clients that are in their 50s, 60s, 70s, and are feeling, what Cindy was feeling when Misty brought this to her of, oh no, and I'm hoping that they feel the inspiration that I feel right now listening to you, and the excitement, and see the joy that's on the other side for them if they'll say yes to this. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having us.
Enjoyed it.
Thank you, everyone, for tuning in to Ricardo's Rules of Resilience, the podcast that gives you the tools to withstand and recover from difficulties. Be resilient.